Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make the easiest, and I really mean that, the easiest raspberry and peach tart ever. But it is so good, a showstopper. It comes together in minutes if you've got the ingredients on hand, and it's just really beautiful. So let me run you through the list of ingredients because it's not very long, but they're all the right ones. You're going to start off with some peaches. It's really important that you use yellow peaches that are, you don't want them to be too soft, but you don't want them to be so hard that they're flavorless. So you have to make sure that they're kind of in the middle so that you can slice them. Fresh raspberries, of course. Vanilla sugar. If you don't have vanilla sugar, you just use regular sugar with a splash of vanilla. And then I've got a little bit of flour here. You need some egg wash, which is just 1 egg beaten with a little bit of water or milk, and some apricot jam that I softened in the microwave. And of course, you'll need some pastry. I'm using puff pastry. You can use regular pie crust for this, absolutely. But the puff pastry just gives you a lovely, buttery, delicious goodness that I'm telling you cannot be beaten. So what I've done already is gotten my oven preheated to 425, lined a baking sheet with some parchment paper. So we are ready to go. You want to make sure your puff pastry is thawed because puff pastry, as you know, if you don't make your own, you can buy it at your local grocery store. It's always in the freezer section of your grocery store, so you just want to make sure that it does come to room temperature just a little bit, and it won't take very long. It takes about a half an hour on your countertop, so it's very, very handy if you've got people coming over in about an hour and a half and haven't decided what dessert you're going to make. So it's the kind of thing that you want to keep in the freezer at all times because it gets you out of a pickle. All right, so what I've done is I've just stretched my puff pastry out a little bit more. I want it 1 inch bigger on my sides, if you will, right? And then I just want it a little bit longer, so it's kind of like a rectangle rather than a square. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it, shake off any excess flour because you don't want it to be very gluey or gummy. And then you just place this on your prepared baking sheet. You can stretch it around to fit if you have to. And we are going to prepare it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork, okay? I'm going to leave about 1 inch border. I'm not really stabbing it or pricking it at this point. I'm just leaving 1 inch border, just kind of marking it where I want it. And once I have that, this is going to be the edge of the pastry, of the pie, if you will. Once I have that, then you go in and you really give it a good stabberoo. Now we're going to work on the peaches. I've got a little bit of flour and I've got some vanilla sugar. Like I said, if you don't have vanilla sugar, then just use a little splash of vanilla extract. Toss them around like so. Back to the puff pastry. You take your softened jam, right? This is apricot jam. You can use peach jam if you want to. I just happen to think apricot jam works a lot better. I like the flavor of it a lot more, so that's what I'm going to use. And it happens to be what I always have on hand because I like brushing it on pretty much anything, really. And then you just kind of start layering your peaches like so. And you can overlay them, you know, just a little tiny bit, and it's going to be fantastic. Just like so. Now, you've got some leftover sugary, floury goodness over here, right? So you take about yay much of raspberries, however much raspberries you want to use. You toss them in that vanilla sugar goodness, and then you just place them around. And I just take some more of that apricot jam. Remember, I loosened it up in the microwave, so it's a little bit easier to kind of brush it / spoon it on there. You don't need a whole lot, so don't panic if you can't get every single little tiny one. Then, same brush and all, because why not? I'm just going to brush the borders with my egg wash. And I'm going to pop this into my oven at 425 for 15 to 20 minutes or until it's a lovely golden brown color, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it is done. Is this the most beautiful thing or what? I am such a fan of that really beautiful rustic type of food, the kind that you can just tuck right in but doesn't take a lot of effort to put together. and that is so delicious in the outcome. This is that exactly. It was in the oven for 20 minutes. I've let it, as soon as it came out, I slid the whole thing, parchment paper and all, on a wire rack just to help it cool a little bit, and that way the center doesn't steam and get soggy. I'm just gonna cut a piece now because I am gonna serve this tonight after dinner. But a girl's gotta have a cook's treat, you know? Oh, that's beautiful. Look how beautiful. It holds, look how nice that holds. It holds really nicely. It's not soggy. The peaches are just almost jammy-like. You know, why do I bother having people over for dinner? Why? I have enough to celebrate. I should celebrate myself with a piece of this pie every night. It's delicious, not overly sweet. The peaches shine. The raspberry offered that little bit of tartness that I think is really good in terms of balance when you have something really sweet and really rich. I got one more. It's embarrassingly good. Go make it. LauraInTheKitchen.com has got you covered with a written recipe. I'm done. I'll see you next time. Bye.